Welcome back to Cryptogains for another video. I want to show you what I see in the Bitcoin price chart. If it's sounding interesting, the words I know. Drop the like, give me a subscribe. It also counts for altcoins as well, because what happens to Bitcoin tends to follow the altcoins. If Bitcoin falls, altcoins fall. I want to show you, and this is not financial advice, I want to show you this chart right here. This is the weekly time frame. I've got up the weekly indicator, which is a moving average, SMA, simple moving average. I want to show you the 3-day time frame. Sorry, get my words out. And I also want to show you this right here, which is the Williams 3 lines. I want to talk about this some more, show you what I think about this as well. So yeah, let's start off with this. I've got a bull flag indicator right here, which, well, it's not really an indicator. It's like you can draw trend lines, and I've drawn this. Many people have been showing you, if you watch people that do analysis, we're seeing like a bull flag formation. I want to talk about that. More specifically, how we're holding on this 50-week moving average. If you watched my last video, I said to you, we may come down to this 50-week moving average, which was about 53,000, but we must hold that as support. So this is good so far. Bitcoin's holding it as support. You can see right here, we saw the bounce. We saw a slight dip into it, but it pulled back up. You got the wick here to show the buy power, and right now it's holding support. So for those that are new, what is a bull flag? This is usually like a bullish continuation pattern, which people can draw with lines, and you can see, you know, there's your flag, you got the pole, and you got the flag looking thing, and Bitcoin's price, or any type of price, whether you're looking at whichever chart, bounces in between these lines, right? So what you can tend to do, or what you can do, is you can take the the pole flag. Listen, I'm keeping it in. The pole flag, you can move it across from wherever its exit's going to be, whether it's here within the next couple of weeks and it bounces up, or whether it's further back, wherever it is. But let's just say, for example, right now, we do see it bounce off this green line and start to go up. Somewhere around here is how you would move the pole flag to see where the highs are. I'm going to show you that in a second. Let's take a quick look at this diagram here. It just helps you a bit more to understand how a bull flag works. And you can see in past charts, this is just like an old chart, but it shows you how it works. So you got the flag from bottom right to the top of this wave that it went up. Then you see the trend wave down. You can see the price action bounce in between these lines as this downward trend is happening. And then, you know, you take this pole, shimmy it along. This is this green line now, which is the pole, and that marks sort of where it can go for price action in the future. And this is quite a popular indication, you know, the bull flag, which many people have been spotting. I've been seeing it as well. Will it play out? Because if it does, where is Bitcoin's price potentially headed? So it could potentially come right up to here, which would shock a lot of people. We're talking about 138,000. I called it 140,000, but we'll see anywhere around there. So if this bull flag plays out, obviously it's going to be absolutely bullish for the market. Question is, what will happen to the news? What news narrative is going to come out that's going to get people so excited to want to rush and buy? We'll have to find out, right? We'll have to see what happens. But this is something that I'm looking at. We're going to see what happens. We do not want to see it break this 50-week, because if it comes down and starts printing candles underneath, you can just call this a void. Like it's null and void. It's like it won't happen. So let's take a look at this. This is the 3-day time frame. And we've got my two averages up again. We've got the 100 3-day moving average and the 200 3-day moving average. The 200 one is the red one. This is the green one, the 100. You can see right now we did dip below this, and we're battling. Look, you can see where the resistance is, struggling. I really want us to break above this and keep going, right? So that bull flag can play out on a bigger time frame. But we are seeing some resistance here, and this is where we really want to come above. We want to see Bitcoin come above to about what's this, 57, let's call it 57,000, what's this, $57,300. If it can bounce back above this green line and hold support and then see more green candles above, great. You know, that can continue to be bullish, and then that bull flag can play out. But if it doesn't, and we've just seen the first sign of a piercing of this green line, because, you know, I told you in my last video, and if you haven't watched it, I highly recommend you check it out. We don't break this green line in a bull trend. When the trend is bullish on a bull run, prices are going up, you never see any of this price action break this green line. And we can take a look back in the past at most trends, look at it, or bull trends. This one came out of the 19 event, held support off of it, and it bounced. You can see there's a massive gap in between it whilst we're riding it right up. The only time we break it is when we see weak signs, weak signals of the market's over. Now, back here on Friday, Tuesday, whatever it is, April 2021. This is where the top of the market was. This is where all the hype was and everything else. We did see a double top and it came back and it did form a second higher. So even though we have seen candles underneath, it's still likely we could see a bounce up, which is what I'm hoping we can see, you know, a strong bounce up to give us a next higher. But I do feel like that will be the last high that we see, wherever that is, whether it's here, whether it is $138,000. But I think this will be the last blow off top until we then see a serious bear market. But you do not want to be breaking this green line when you're in a bull trend, right? If you're in a bull market, you just don't see it happen. Look at the last cycle, 2017, 2018, right? Look, the price action remained above the green line. Not once did you see it break this green line, apart from when it was the end of the market. You saw a massive blow off top. Prices start to come down. The trend is reversed. We're now in a bear market. There's your first weak sign that you are, sort of confirming that the market's weak and it's in a bear market. That's the only time you see it break. And then it rolls over itself and it comes eventually gets to this red line, and then from the red line it takes a massive dump if it pierces through the red line. Once it's on the other side, look, massive 50% dump. So we do not want to see that happen. And right now, if it did happen, if we did come down to the red line, let me just show you, and then we pierce through this red line, it would be a big drop. It would be enough to shock everyone at this moment in time. But remember, these lines are slowly moving up as well, which means it might not be too much of a big drop from what I'm showing you now. But look, that's like 45, 46, 48. Well, that's 21,000, almost nearing a 20k Bitcoin price. So I'd like to believe that we can continue to go up, but it's also good to people get scared when you hear bad news. But at the end of the day, if you want to make money in this game, you have to accept it and prepare yourself in advance. And that's what these videos are. They're just trying to prepare you for different outcomes of what could happen. If it comes to this red line, let's say this red line moves up over the next few weeks, you know, and if it does, maybe it might not be so dramatic if it did take a big drop. I can't see what that is right there, but let's just zoom this out a bit. That was a 42% drop. That takes you down to about $25,000. So we'll see. Nearer the time, I will, alert you guys on that. But hopefully we can see a bullish outcome on this and it bounces up, continues to hold support off of this, and then this bull flag can play out. Let's take a look at this. And this is another reason why I feel like maybe it could. Maybe the bull cycle or the bull run could really happen, or we could see one big massive pump before a massive dump. And if you miss my videos, check them out. It's on my channel. This right here. So I've gone right back to, and you can even go further back if you like. Look at this. Look, 2013, 2014 cycle. Again, we're looking at the William 3 lines. We've got green, orange, and red line. I use these as sort of like my warning signals. If I haven't sold by the green line, I should seriously think about selling before the price action pierces through the orange line. If I don't and I leave it and it gets to the red line, it's more than likely I'm going to lose all my money, because by the time it pierces through the red line, it's going to take a disgusting drop of at least, look at this, 55%. That looks tiny to you right now. That's because I've shrunk it. If I really stretch this out, you can see the massive drop. It's a big drop by the time it gets to this red line. But take a look at this. And I said it before, I'll say it again. I feel like there could be a big pump before a massive dump. So when it pierces this green line, we always see price action pump again, like move up, right? Big rally up. So this was the big rally up. Oh, let me just mark this first and give it a that. That was the big rally up. That was 100% up. That's a big move. Enough to make altcoins go crazy. That was after it pierced this green line with the William 3 lines, right? So you don't see it pierce it until, it's nearing the end of a cycle. Look, this is the next cycle. Look, price action is above the green line, bounces above it, similar to what I showed you with the last one, right? Stays above it until you see it pierce this green line. And when you see it pierce this green line, we always see a rally up. So if I move the arrows down a bit, this was the drop in price. This was the rally up. This one went up 50%. And whilst that was going up, that was like a chance for maybe us to consider taking profits before it comes and pierces the orange line, eventually the red line, and then a massive dump of at least, what is this, 50% again? This is almost 50%, 48%. So we see another rally. Look, and the reason I'm saying this is because I feel like we've got a potential chance to take some profits if we do see another final pump. Right, so down here, look, it pierces this green line, and again, you only see it pierce the green line after a trend, after the rally sort of ended, kind of thing, like the bull market's had its massive pump. Look, it pierces through the green line, rally up. This one had a nice big rally up, over 118% or more, and then look, eventually it comes down, pierces through the orange line, crosses the red line, and then we see a massive dump of at least 58%. See, the reason I show you this is because I want you to be on the other side. I want you to be on this side rather than the side where it pierces the red line and it dumps and you lose everything. So at least if you're looking now and you're paying attention now, you can be prepared for these things. So what am I preparing myself for? If there's to be like a continuation pump, right? Just like what I showed you here, look, because it's pierced through the green line. And look at this, we're already starting to see signs of it. So far it's up. Oh, keep holding the shift too long. Let me get rid of that. So far this is up 15%. If it's to come anywhere up to this green line, that's 32%. Will it pierce through like it did here? Would be great if it did. I mean, I'm looking for this to come to at least up to this green line, which marks about $64,000, where this blue line is $64,350. I'm hoping for it to come at least up to that green line. Maybe even a bit more. Maybe it comes just up, right up 60, let's call it 65,000. That would be sort of my indication to look at all my altcoins, personally, me, and say, right, this Bitcoin's back up 65K now. It's done everything that I expected it to do. Was it pierced this green line, it had a massive rally up, got to this green line here. I know this rare event pierced through it, but does it mean that all these other ones are going to pierce through it as well? Because these didn't. Got up to the green line, wicked down, you see? So I'm kind of going with what's happened before many a times. It comes up to sort of like this green line and then it pierces down or falls down or it gets close to the green line. So I want to prepare myself in a situation where I got to make my mind think that this is it. Like, this is going to come up to the green line and then it might roll over, come to the orange, pierce through the orange, get to the red and then crash down. And if it does, I've got another 30% for Bitcoin to go up, which means Bitcoin can go to about 64 to 65,000. At that point, everybody might still be screaming 148K, 130K, 100K, whatever it is, which could it play out because of this bull flag? You know what I showed you here? Could it play out? Or will smart money just not let it get there? I don't know. Where's 65K? I mean, 65K doesn't even break you out of this bull flag. Look at where 65K puts you right there. So, you know, but because prices are going up, people can think, oh, it's going up, it's going to rally, it's going to break out. And everybody will be waiting for this breakout to break out of the bull flag, and it just doesn't do it. Then it rolls over, comes tumbling down. So this is just sort of like a preparation. Prepare yourself in advance. That's what I'm doing. And because of this chart here, where we always see it rally up to the green line again, I'm just going to consider maybe riding this wave for an additional 30%, let Bitcoin get to 65K, and then look at taking some decent profits again somewhere. And, you know, if you guys never took anything, that could be another opportunity to consider maybe taking some. It's up to you, not financial advice. Can I show you what I'm doing and show you my mindset and what I'm thinking before it does, if it does roll over? If it breaks above this, because for me, in order for me to get really excited to say, yeah, Bitcoin's going to 100K and that bull flag's going to play out, it has to break above its last all-time high, which is this yellow line here. It has to come above 73,000. And if it can do that, then this will play true. But it has to break above its all-time high. And I'll even draw that like that. It has to come above there, which is 73,000, 74,000. If it breaks above that, then I expect it to come right up, and this bull flag will continue to play out until it gets to 138K. And that's going to be exciting for everyone, because altcoins are going to go crazy. People in Bitcoin will make 3 times their money back. No, maybe just under 3, 2.5 times their money back, which will be big for people, exciting for people, because, you know, people that don't want to take too much risk, they put their money in Bitcoin, they make loads of money, double their money. And I'm not talking small investors, I'm talking millionaires or billionaires. You know, they put like 500 million in, they make $1 billion, they're happy with that, right? So yeah, I'm going to leave it here. If it was helpful, drop that like, give me a subscribe. Thank you for watching. Become a Patreon. The link is in the info section. They will see what I'm doing, if I'm buying, selling, staking, all of that stuff. And I highly recommend you come check it out. Look, where's my... Keep grabbing these up and don't have it. Let me see if I can find it. I ain't got it. I usually have like my... oh, here it is. My Patreon. 7 tiers. Take your pick. I recommend my exclusive VIP partner tier. I think I just said that because it unlocks all the posts. You will see when I'm buying, selling, staking, taking profits, all of that stuff. I just said selling, the same thing. I show them chart analysis as well. Keep them up to date on stuff. Something on my nose. Itchy nose. Yeah, they just see everything. So, and if you can afford it, the CEO tier, which is the next tier above, my words, gives you access to the VIP Telegram group, We talk about things before I buy stuff over there a lot of the time. They're buying things before I buy them. They're making massive gains all the time. Just come check it out. Powerful network. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.
Never be defeated.